Stop this now! Hey, give me my ring!
Remember when Nicolas Cage starred in some of your favorite movies of the 80s and 90s? Whether it was Valley Girl or Con Air or Honeymoon in Vegas or Raising Arizona or Moonstruck or so many more, you just loved seeing him on the big screen. Whether he did big budget flicks like Face Off or small affair like The Weatherman, Cage never failed to surprise or delight us with his commitment to his craft. Plain and simple, the man can act.
So why does he do so many weird, off-putting, and let's just say it, unsuccessful movies nowadays? This was a man who was an A-list star who did the monstrously successful National Treasure and its sequel, and who was this close to playing the role of Superman. Now the majority of Cage's most recent movies are strictly video on demand. Here are some of Nicolas Cage's most recent titles.
Kill Chain, Vengeance, a Love Story, Arsenal, Rage, Running with the Devil. It's okay if you've never seen or heard any of these movies. We haven't either. Cage hasn't starred in a studio-produced film since the DreamWorks animation film The Croods, for which he only provided his voice, and which he will do again for the long-delayed sequel The Croods: A New Age. And yet he averages about 6 to 7 movies per year. So how does an actor whom everyone adores, who can do big budget and indies, who can do drama, comedy, action, and romance, be relegated to VOD? Let's try and explain what happened in Nicolas Cage's career. Emphasis on try. It's no big secret that Cage famously blew his fortune from all those blockbusters he did in the 90s. In the world of Hollywood, an actor losing all their money is a pretty common tale. What's not so common is how he blew all of it. Nicolas Cage was once a top earner in Hollywood worth $150 million. Now he's worth around $25 million. Here's what he blew his money on. A $25 million waterfront home in Newport Beach, California, a $15.7 million countryside estate in Newport, Rhode Island, an $8.5 million home in Las Vegas, a $3.4 million mansion in New Orleans, the infamous La Laurie, known as one of the most haunted houses in America, a $10 million castle in Europe, another castle in Europe for $2.3 million, because why not, a deserted island in the Bahamas for $3 million, and $150,000 for a pet octopus. Oh, and he owed the IRS $6.3 million in property taxes. So if you think money is an issue for why Cage does so many movies, almost any movie it seems, you'd be correct. Cage essentially admitted it in a New York Times Magazine interview in 2019, saying, "I can't go into specifics or percentages or ratios, but yeah, money is a factor. I'm going to be completely direct about that. There's no reason not to be. There are times when it's more of a factor than not."
Cage goes on to say, "Financial mistakes happened with the real estate implosion that occurred, in which the lion's share of everything I had earned was pretty much eradicated. But one thing I wasn't going to do was file for bankruptcy. I had this pride thing where I wanted to work my way through anything, which was both good and bad. And while there's nothing wrong with doing films strictly for money, some of the films he chooses aren't quite the studio-friendly A-lister stuff that Cage used to do." Okay, we're just going to say it. A lot of his movies over the last several years are absolutely insane. Case in point, the movie Mandy, which is straight up nightmare fuel.
But in Cage's mind, that's just how he likes it. One of the reasons you may not see him in bigger movies is that he doesn't want to be in them. Cage told The Guardian in 2018, "I like to break forms, try different things, and I don't think studios are comfortable with that. But in an independently spirited film, I can do that." What Cage refers to as breaking forms is his technique of overacting, which he has dubbed nouveau shamanic. We're not really sure what that means, but we do know that his style of ramped-up acting can easily turn into parody. One only has to look at his famous, or infamous, line reading in The Wicker Man when he yells, "On the beast!" That one line has become a straight-up meme generator. So while Cage and many loyal fans might love this style of performance, it may have a negative impact on the actor's already flagging reputation. Producers, once lining up at the door for Cage's signature, may have grown reluctant to give him the jobs he used to be first in line for. Thus, it's the movies on demand circuit where Cage can be free to do what he wants for as many movies as he wants. And it's a lot of movies. Cage has filmed an astonishing 27 features in just 5 years. That's unheard of. Said Cage to The Guardian, "If I don't have somewhere to go in the morning and a job to do, it can be very self-destructive. Then I'm just going to sit and order 2 bottles of red wine and dissolve, and I don't want to be that person, so I have to work." And the 56-year-old actor also told the website NME, "I want to be on set. I want to be performing. In any other business, hard work is something to behold. Why not in film performance?" So whether it be need of money, or the love of work, or exploring his craft in ways that he wants to, Nicolas Cage is going to keep on doing movies, just not the studio ones he did in the past. He will continue to get weird with it, because that's who he is.
Cage's next movie, the action comedy The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, where he'll play a fictionalized version of himself, a Nick Cage who, under a mountain of debt, finds himself forced to make an appearance at the birthday party of a Mexican billionaire. This fictional Nick Cage, again, played by the real Nick Cage, occasionally talks to the egotistical 1990s version of Nick Cage, who berates himself for making too many crappy movies and for not being a star anymore. And you can't get more Nick Cage than that.